Right now, inside each of your cells, something ancient is speaking. Your mitochondria, those powerhouse organelles you learned about in school, aren't just making energy. They're talking, and your entire body is listening. You inherited these mitochondria solely from your mother, billions of them tucked inside your cells. They're descendants of bacteria that merged with your ancestors' cells 2 billion years ago. They still have their own DNA, separate from yours, and they remember how to communicate. When your mitochondria need to send a message, they release specific molecules into your cell's interior. Calcium ions burst out through channels in their membranes, tiny charged particles that flood into the surrounding cytoplasm. Your cell reads this calcium like Morse code, each pulse carrying meaning. Your mitochondria are constantly measuring their environment. They detect the nutrients flowing past: glucose, fatty acids, oxygen. When your blood sugar drops because you skipped breakfast, your mitochondria notice first. They shift their chemistry and release reactive oxygen species, ROS, molecules that act as alarm signals. These ROS molecules you've heard are dangerous. They're actually words in a language. In controlled amounts, they travel to your cell's nucleus and change which genes get turned on or off. Your mitochondria are literally rewriting your genetic instructions based on what they sense. When you exercise, your muscles demand more energy. Your mitochondria feel the strain immediately, ADP levels dropping, ADP accumulating. They respond by releasing peptides, tiny protein fragments that enter your bloodstream and travel throughout your body. These mitokines reach your brain, your fat tissue, even distant organs. Your mitochondria also control inflammation by releasing their own DNA into your cell's interior. When this ancient bacterial DNA appears where it shouldn't be, your immune sensors recognize it as foreign. Suddenly, your cell switches into defense mode, activating inflammatory pathways. Your mitochondria just raised an alarm. This communication goes both ways. Your nucleus sends signals back through proteins that migrate to mitochondrial membranes. When you're stressed, cortisol from your brain changes how your mitochondria function. Your thoughts literally reach down into these cellular compartments. As you age, this conversation becomes garbled. Your mitochondria accumulate mutations in their DNA. They start sending distress signals even when nothing's wrong, crying wolf to your immune system. The chronic inflammation they trigger contributes to arthritis, heart disease, neurodegeneration. Your mitochondria even decide when cells should die. When they detect irreparable damage or infection, they release cytochrome C, a protein normally locked inside them. Once in the cytoplasm, it activates executioner enzymes that systematically dismantle your cell from within. Your mitochondria just issued a death warrant. But you can influence this conversation. When you fast, your cells activate autophagy. They start recycling damaged mitochondria. Fresh ones multiply to replace them. When you eat antioxidant-rich foods, you're giving your cells tools to buffer the ROS signals, keeping the volume at healthy levels. During deep sleep, your mitochondria shift into maintenance mode. They produce less ROS and more melatonin. Yes, your mitochondria make the same molecule your pineal gland does. This mitochondrial melatonin stays local, protecting their own membranes from oxidative damage while you dream. Your mitochondria sense temperature too. When you're cold, they can uncouple their normal energy production, burning fuel purely as heat. This thermogenesis keeps you alive in winter, and it's your mitochondria deciding to waste energy on purpose, prioritizing your survival over efficiency. Cancer cells hijack this signaling system. They silence certain mitochondrial communications while amplifying others, convincing your body to feed them preferentially. The tumor mitochondria send altered signals that suppress immune responses and promote blood vessel growth toward the cancer. Every breath you take, every bite you eat, every step you run, your mitochondria translate these experiences into molecular signals. They're the interface between your life and your biology, constantly broadcasting status updates to the rest of your cells. Right now, they're reporting on everything you've just read, adjusting your body's responses to this very moment.